If you've been in a slump since you graduated from college last year, well, babe, it's time to get you back on track. If you're like me and you thrive on productivity, but you haven't been feeling or seeing that part of yourself recently, you've come to the right place because I'm here for you now, and this is At Home with Iris. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I'm so excited that you're all here with me, and I hope we can learn to navigate our post-grad lives together, as well as anything that really comes up. Based on the title of my podcast, I'm sure you all can guess that I've moved back home to live with my parents, and I'm still honestly trying to figure out a lot of things myself. Living with my parents has been an adjustment, but since I'm older now, I think there's been a lot of things that I've learned since I moved back home, and I'm really excited to share it with you all. So whether you've moved back home like I have, or you've moved to a different city to start a new job, or maybe even if you're just still in the same college town that you graduated from now, I'm going to share some tips on how you can build better structure in your life and how you can continuously feed into that motivation complex that exists, but we just have to really bring it back out. Because, come on, if you think about college, it taught us a lot about perseverance, I think, at least. Going through the highs and lows of juggling your academics, your social life, your future work internships, and other organizations that you're a part of too, that's a lot. So if you've still got those feelings of being lost, unmotivated, unorganized, or just like everything doesn't really make sense right now, I want you to throw all those feelings away. We have so much ahead of us. So let's get right into the tips that I have for you. Okay, since I want this episode to be surrounded around what to do when you have a lot of ambition and a lot of goals, but it's just hard to kind of find the motivation and structure that into the new schedule that you might have now compared to when you were in college, I want you to first think about how your environment has changed since you've graduated. If you're back at home, is it a familiar place that you already know you can find comfort in? And maybe it's your time to explore what's been new since you last were home. Or if you just moved to a completely new environment too, there's a lot of opportunity for you there as well. But I know that comes with different goals and different ambitions, and everyone's current situation is going to be different. So really think about where you are now and ask yourself how you can use the place that you're currently in to your best advantage when trying to accomplish whatever it is you want to do. Because stepping away from the college campus, at least for me, I came from a really big college campus. Coming back home to like this small town, it kind of reminded me that not everyone is in the same place in life as I am. So while you're thinking about the environment that you're currently in, reflect on the past week that you've had and try to pinpoint when you had open space or free time within your days and think about what you decided to do during that time. I know that we all have that feeling of we can do more and there's so much out there for us, so it's time to make it happen. Like I would say for me, being back at home has been basically a complete 180 from the lifestyle that I had while I was in college, especially being a Hmong American daughter and having responsibilities when I go home too that I was pretty much able to ignore for the past 5 years. I was re-immersed into that environment, re-immersed into the roles and responsibilities to help out my family. So when I reflect back on my past week, it's a lot of, okay, I'm working, but what do I do after work? It's me helping take care of my grandma, or it's me making sure that there's dinner for my family to eat. Because going back home to live with your parents, it's not going to be just you and your independence as much as you want it to be. There's other people now in your physical space that are so close to you too that you can't help but become intertwined with them and their schedules as well. So that's the first tip, is to analyze your past week and your current environment now. All right, now that we have your baseline set, my second tip for you is to think about what activities make you feel most productive? I want you to start off thinking about maybe only the top 1 or 2 things that you think integrating into your life in this very moment within this week is going to make you feel like a better you. Like an example from me has always been to try to eat healthier, but in college I didn't do that as much as I wanted to. Now that I've got a little bit more free time, I feel like I am finally there to be able to make the changes that I've been wanting to make. And just that one goal that I have for myself, it is pretty big and broad, but then coming up with smaller actions and goals that I can do within my day-to-day life makes it seem a lot less scarier. So I would suggest to write this down. One of the things I believe in is that it sticks so much more when you write it down. And then you can write down 3 things that you can do to get yourself going. It doesn't necessarily have to be, a sudden jump, I'm gonna stick to this strict diet. No, like it's going to be a work in progress and there's going to be things that you have to troubleshoot, but committing to those small goals that you're setting for yourself, trying to work towards it day by day, it will get you a lot further than you think, and by the end of the week, you will see a lot of progress within yourself as well. One thing that I also do besides just writing it down and seeing it visually for myself is to tell a friend or somebody, your parent, about what your goal is for yourself. Not necessarily so that they can help keep you accountable. It's just you verbally speaking it out loud, or internally when you do talk to somebody about something, then you're a little bit more aware of it as well. So I would recommend, if it's really hard for you and you aren't somebody who likes to write things down, maybe try telling somebody about it. And no matter what your goal is, know that the key to accomplishing it is being consistent, showing up every day to make those hard decisions. Okay, I don't necessarily feel like going to the gym today, going outside, eating healthy, but I know that I owe this to myself. I have this time right now. I might as well do something with it. And that is genuinely how I feel like you are going to channel that higher version of yourself and really see yourself get there. Okay, and that leads to my 3rd tip, which is to implement. And here is basically where the meat of this episode is going to be. So yeah, let's get into it. My first, and this is like my holy grail here, tactic is to use your planner. I personally use Google Calendar. I've been using it since my freshman year of college, all the way through, and it has kept me very grounded. And a lot of these ideas that I am using now, I used in college. So if the things that I suggest don't necessarily work best for you, then you can think about some of the things that you've done in college and find ways to practice that in your life right now too. So back to my Google Calendar. It's a little bit different from how I used to structure it back in college. I had tabs for every single organization I was involved in, work, class, stuff like that. Here, I am finding that I don't use my Google Calendar as much because there's not as much going on. So the way that I would suggest using Google Calendar or your planner now is to specifically time block and set up times to complete an activity. This I feel like is especially for the type A girlies who love to plan everything out minute by minute. Even if I just write down, wake up, get ready, and eat breakfast. After that, send emails, apply to jobs, time block each thing that you want to get done during that day. And trust me, the day will go by so fast because then it feels like you're following your own schedule. It's like the structure is there, but you are really in charge of how you want your day to look. And if you're already following a schedule, know what's going on during your day, one thing that can help you keep yourself accountable is one of my favorite things to do. Film what you're doing in the day, film or do like a day in my life. And when you're recording yourself, it's like, to me at least, I'm like, there's that extra like, I gotta make sure this gets done, you know? But yes, I would say try to use Google Calendar or a planner, and it'll really be a game changer for you in how to build that structure that feels very purposeful. And this kind of relates to what I talked about a little bit before about having multiple responsibilities now being at home. Sometimes if you plan out your day like how we just talked about. And then all of a sudden, mom's calling me and she's like, Iris, I need you to run to the store. Obviously, I'm going to deviate a little bit from the plan that I might have had for myself. And it can seem a little overstimulating or overwhelming at first. And also, you can do something that I call habit stacking, which is trying to kill two birds with one stone, and it kind of maximizes productivity. So, for example, when people walk on a walking pad and type emails, I would say it's best to try to habit stack when you're doing something that's not the most favorable. Like when my parents ask me to go and cut the grass or like do yard work, I'm like, ugh, fine, I guess. But then I'm like, hey, wait, I have this opportunity. Let me listen to one of my favorite podcasts and see if there's new episodes from there. There's always going to be little ways that I think you can integrate that into your lifestyle. So just see what you can kind of do. Kind of nitpick your interests and your habits and see how you might be able to combine them. And I've also learned to habit stack when I'm hanging out with friends too, like studying with them. You're not doing it alone, but you're doing it with a friend and getting to hang out and catch up with them at the same time. And that ties into my last method for maximizing productivity and structure, and it's to create a reward system for yourself or use the buddy system to help keep yourself accountable. I'm pretty sure we all used some form of this reward system or buddy system while we were in college, and now it's just time to find a different way to incorporate that into our lifestyles now, which I think is the fun and exciting part, honestly. And we never really know what's out there for you until you put yourself out there. It's going to be really daunting at first, but I think that is better than you not doing something because you're afraid of it. Thinking back to all the time that I've spent at home too, in the beginning, like within the first month of me moving here, I was like, this is horrible, I'm dreading it, but it was really my friends here that I reconnected with that really helped me feel like I was forming a life for my own self here. Because yeah, my friends helped get me through studying for the GRE. They helped me find this new yoga place that I love to go to downtown. Like, it just makes things better when you do it with someone, or when you know that you're going to gift yourself a reward after you accomplish it. And kind of think of this as a form of self-care too, or a way for you to build your social life and your social skills outside of that college bubble. I don't know about y'all, but I think that our post-grad era is now looking way better than it was at the beginning of this video. I know that it can also seem really intimidating when you're trying to implement new goals and new habits into your life too. Sometimes it just feels like there's way more fighting against us than the things that we want to prioritize for ourselves. But let me tell you, girl, just think about what you would be missing out on if you didn't try to put yourself out there. It would be a total loss. And I want you to think of this now, even though it's not the new year yet. Having goals for yourself already is a great first step, and I want you to promise me something, that you will do what you set your sights on in completing for yourself, because that is the way that you will build trust in yourself. And I think you'll find soon that like accomplishing these goals for yourself, it comes with a lot of good feelings. So kind of just chase those feelings that come with you accomplishing things for yourself. Do what you need to do to get yourself up in the morning, get yourself hype. Something I do is play No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame in the morning, so I can feel like the day is going to be a party. I trust that you will find your groove, and these goals will be implemented into your life in no time. And lastly, before we leave, one thing that I want to implement in all of my episodes is some words of affirmations that we can repeat to ourselves just for that kickstart of motivation. It might feel a little weird at first, but try to join me in saying this to yourself, either out loud, in your mind, whatever works. Today's affirmation is, I have the power to bring clarity and purpose into my life. Repeat that 3 times with me. I have the power to bring clarity and purpose into my life. You have the power to bring clarity and purpose into your life. All right, that is all that I have for you, friends. If you made it to the end of this video, I think you're really cool. I hope you all had a lot of fun listening. I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel or follow my podcast, because I hope to use this podcast as a platform for us to talk about all things self-growth related, the dynamics that exist between our relationships that we have with people and the relationship that we have with ourselves, and overall just shifting our mindset to create a safe space. And if you are a Hmong baddie out there listening, I have a lot of things planned for addressing the dynamics that exist in our culture. There's so much that I want to talk about, and I am just really excited to share it with you all. So stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you all at my next episode. I hope you all have a good week, and I will see you next time. Love you. Bye.